Hi crafty friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky Paper Crafts, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Manitoba. We're trying something completely new today, so fingers crossed it works. I'm using the Pearlized Enamel Effects. In the package you get black, white, and red. Today we're using the black. Now I saw a demonstrator showcase this idea. She did something completely different with it. She was actually painting on a piece that she had die cut. I'm going to use it as a full-on background. Then we're going to stamp and use our soft pastels. So with any luck at all, this is going to work. Now, I've got a well-loved piece of blotter paper here, and I'm just going to cover. I'm not really doing this scientifically at all. I might need more. This might be enough. We'll see. I'm just going to grab a sponge and we're going to completely coat our paper. Basically, the look that we're wanting to get is full coverage. You can blot it, you can paint it, you can even use a piece of leftover cardstock or a piece of scrap and just use it to drag it across. Doesn't matter how it's done. Our basic premise is that we want to have maximum coverage of our sheet. Now I don't want to get this all over me, so I'm using my take your pick to kind of hold it in position. Now it does dry quicker than you expect when you put a thin coat on. And because it's just a background, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can actually hear it's getting kind of sticky as I'm moving it around. This can be washed out when you're done. So I will be, okay, whatever this is does not want to stay away. There we go. And again, it's a background, it's DIY. It doesn't have to be perfectly smooth. So you can see we've got pretty good coverage and it's good and shimmery. You can let it dry by itself. I'm going to give it a bit of a blast with my heat tool just because I want to get moving on with our project. Now you do want to move quickly and you don't want to keep it in one spot because there is liquid in this. It can bubble. I was actually playing with different thicknesses and the thicker it was, the more it bubbled. Okay, do the other side. And again, our paper is going to curl because it's really humid here today too. So that is definitely going to cause some of our curling. There we go. And you can see it's kind of flattening out a little bit. All right. It's not tacky at all. I'm not getting any on my hand. So the next thing that we're going to want to do is grab our stamp set, which I just had. Where did it go? Oh boy. Oh, under the black cardstock that I had. Now this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I might, excuse me, trim it down and have another color behind it. We'll see how it looks when I'm done. So I've got our dragonfly here. I'm just going to grab our stamp block. Too small. Oh my goodness. Oh, here it is. Put it off to the side for safekeeping, and of course, I lost it. Versamark. So it is a watercolor, or watermark, I should say, stamp pad. You might be able to see an okay impression. It does take a while for it to dry. It's not going to be able, actually I can't really see where I'm putting this. So we'll do 4. I can always go back and add another dragonfly after. So now I'm going to grab our soft pastels and I'm just going to scrape with my take your pick tool a couple of different colors over top. We've got this Bermuda Bay Coastal Cabana green color. Then we've got a nice lovely blue in them, I think. I don't know what other color I'm gonna do. Maybe we'll do purple. There we go. You are gonna get color on your fingers. It's not a big deal. It's basically chalk or soft pastel, so it will wash off really easily. If you wanted to, you could use your sponge to go over top and rub it in. I prefer using my fingers. So I'm just going to give it a quick, and you can see that as we're going, the ink is going to stick to our dragonflies. And the different colors that we've used are going to stick differently. I think I'll do a tiny little bit of this Granny Apple Green as well. Scrape a little bit of that in a few different places and see where we can get that one to stick. All right, so there's our chalks done. And then to clean it up, you always want to make sure that you put them back in the case and close the lid. Then we're going to take our sponge and rub just a little bit more so that we can get a better definition of our insects. Oops. Okay, so there's our bugs. Actually, I want to try just one tiny little thing. No idea if this is going to work. I've got a little bit of water here in a water painter, and I'm just going to try in the very corner to see if applying some how it'll affect our shimmer and our dragonfly. Actually, oh, works fairly well. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water onto my sponge here. I'm just squeezing it out of my water painter. Just a little bit. Let it absorb. And then I'm just going to do a few quick little brushes across. I actually really like the effect that that's giving. I've always been the kind of crafter that I'm willing to give anything a try once and see how it works. All right. So I'm going to need to attack myself with some soap and water later. Just going to quickly dry off our paper. Now you don't want to apply a huge ton of water because this isn't watercolor paper and it can cause it to curl a little. I think I'm going to put something behind this. Blue or you know what, I think we're going to use Night of Navy. Now I'm just going to cut this down by 1/4 of an inch on each side. Actually, no, I think I'm going to do maybe 1/2 an inch on each, 1/4 of an inch all the way around. So our finished size is going to be 5 by 4 3/4, or 3 3/4, I should say. And then we're going to grab our piece of Night of Navy. And then we're just going to stick it down with some adhesive. Now, because I have applied water to this, actually, I've applied liquid twice, I'm going to put a little bit more adhesive than I normally would on this. So I'm going to do all 4 corners and down the center as well. And then we're going to add our matte layer. What are we going to use for our sentiment? You know what, this fits perfectly, so we're going to use our rectangle postage stamp and Memento Black. Take this guy off, put our sentiment on. Actually, blue is not, or white is not the right color for this. So let's try this and see how this looks. That's better, and I like it kind of at the diagonal like that. Oh yeah, that's better. Dimensionals, pop it up a bit. I'm just going to do the two corners. It's a fairly small piece. We're going to set this at a diagonal as well. And we're going to use some of the classic matte dots, and I think we're going to use the gray. One, two, three, and then we'll do three up this side as well, and then we'll be done. So I hope you're inspired to try this technique. The pearlized enamel is a lot of fun to use, and I can't wait to play with it and get even inkier with it. This is another card that I did with it. This is the Santa Delivery stamp set, and I used the black to kind of highlight the wheels a little bit and the puffy paint to create the smoke coming out of the smokestack. So let me know what you think about this technique down in the comments below. As always, I truly appreciate your support and watching. I'd love to see you in my VIP group, so pop on over to Facebook and join into that fun. There's always more exclusive content over there. As always, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit subscribe as well as the bell so you're notified every time a brand new video goes up. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See you soon.